And holy Toledo, we got another $5 super chat contribution. Thank you for the segue, Austin, for another $5 super chat contribution. And he's asking, when it comes to media days, what is one thing you want to hear talked about the most? And what is your confidence level going into media days? Oh, I'm fine. I mean, I'm more than confident. I'm okay.
I read, I looked today at a lot of the coaches and their quotes, comments, and stuff like that. I mean, number one thing going into media day is as a head coach is to stay away from any controversial statements or any. You want to talk great about your program.
Don't take the bait.
No, don't deviate, off the script and stuff like that. But what somebody like me, what do you want to hear? I want to hear, about depth charts and players and and of course they're going to talk sweet, but I mean they're going to praise everybody. But all right, how long? Ask a question like, well, how many? Ty Simpson, how many games you going to give him to establish himself? What's his, rope? How long you going? Something like that. You know what I'm saying? Usually, for me, I would if I were asked a question, I'd start with the quarterback. I mean, that's the most important position in football. Always has been. I mean, I got quarterbacks can kind of how the quarterback goes, so goes the game. And so I'd start asking about quarterbacks and how they're, what they're doing over the summer and how they're working out. Of course, they're going to give you glam it up and that kind of stuff. But, I would just ask probing questions about quarterbacks. Are they injured? How, are they working on nicks, that kind of stuff. Where are they at? Are they on campus? Are they at home? Just stuff like that.
Absolutely. I definitely agree. I mean, you want to hear confidence. You want to hear like actual confidence, not where it feels fake, where you're just kind of gassing up your team, but it's not legit. You want to hear like that authenticity. And you can really tell like a particular player if a coach is excited, depending on their tone. Like if they're really excited about a guy that could break out, you want to hear breakout players, like you said, depth chart. Like which position groups are like definitely the ones standing out the most, even though they're like you said, they're going to talk good about the entire team, but you kind of notice those things. And that definitely gives you kind of a sneak peek for how the season's going to be. Definitely. I mean, what happens in media days does not really determine what's going to happen in the season at all, but it kind of gives you a little snapshot at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and we'll be able to cover what Sankey says in a little bit as we got a $2. And by the way, thank you so much for the $5 super chat contribution, Austin.
Yeah, that's a tricky question right there. I mean, if you're a reporter and you're sitting in there and you want to get that question and stuff like that, and you want to ask questions people want to know, and me, I want to know about first quarterback position. How stable is it?
Oh yeah. And Cade the Diesel Freak with the $2 super chat contribution, we appreciate very much. And he says CFB media days are the same shit.
There we go.
I gotta agree with you, brother. It's not
wrong.
It's just hey man, I was reading those quotes and what the coaches were saying, and I mean, I'm sitting there reading. This is how bad it is, how lame it is. I'm sitting there reading Lane Kiffin talking about fishing and how something with another coach and about fishing, and some coach sends him a picture about his catch or whatever, and Kiffin saying, well, I'll send him a whatever, maybe Photoshop, where I got a bigger fish. And I'm sitting there thinking, really? I mean, it's such a, yeah, not a lot to learn. It's just I have no idea, but yeah, same old crap. We've been listening to it. And like I said, the coaches are going to just want to stay away from any controversy. I mean, because 2 weeks, you're getting ready to rock and roll. You don't need to crap it up, muck it up right before. Yeah, but it is a waste.
Oh, man. Well, Caden, we appreciate the $2 super chat contribution. We appreciate it very much. And
hey, Caden, did we learn anything today? No.
Well,
Not one thing.
like,
Will we
like I
learn
said,
something tomorrow? No.
And we did learn how popular Diego Pavia is, though. We did learn about that.
yeah, he's
Yeah,
like,
where the the reporters going? Who are they? Who are they magnetized to?
oh man.
But,
Well, and what we'll expect also is I'm sure we're going to hear more discussion as to whether we're going to hear like the SEC Big Ten agree on what the 2026 playoff field's going to look like, or if they're going to disagree. Are we going to 9 conference games for 2026 and beyond? That's what.
well, guys, my thing on that is I hope not. But at the same token, I mean, if you're um, paying fan tickets and stuff, how many people want to go see Alabama play Western Big Mountain Idaho? I mean, how many? That. But I mean, there are games that can. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'd rather see Alabama play when they're playing these games. I'd rather see Alabama play Jacksonville State or UNA or Troy or somebody like that than Rocky Mountain State University. I think it would generate more interest. I mean, Jacksonville fans would come. I'd go. Stuff like that than these milk the money, crappy games. But I mean, 9. I mean, that's really.
It's like an LSU Tulane, something like that, like an in-state game between a lesser university and a bigger university. Like you're saying with Alabama with a Troy, that would be cool because I mean you have that in-state, interest between both universities. It's better than just some random game versus like a really bad opponent. At least Troy is something.
And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, you don't want to prop up the other state universities and stuff like that. You're not propping up Jacksonville State. You're not propping up Alabama State, Alabama A&M, and those type of schools. I mean, you're creating interest amongst people in the state and that kind of stuff. And why pay all this money for La Monroe or Bevel State or whatever to all that money for them, and nobody want. I think Alabama fans would rather see an Alabama State, Alabama A&M, and all that kind of stuff. You're going to beat the dog out of them anyway, but crap. I mean, stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, where I live, we're basically like a few minutes away from the Alabama A&M stadium. Like that's pretty cool. So it's like,
exactly. I just think it'd be a lot better if. So I understand the 8-9 debate, that kind of stuff. I don't like the 9 game, but at the same token, I understand the cream puff games we always talk about. But it would be a lot better. You generate a lot more interest if Tennessee played Austin Peay or you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
absolutely. Another thing for me is I always wish that every conference would play the same amount of conference games. I don't like the some do 9, some do 8. They all need to be either 9 or 8, in my opinion. So, like, if the SEC goes to 9 to match the Big Ten, that's fine. But, the Big Ten could go back to 8 like the SEC as well. They're not going to do that, but that's what I wish. I liked the Big 12 back when they had the non-conference games and they only had 10 teams in conference. Everyone played each other. So you got, like, the legitimate winner. Like, if we went back to where conferences were that size and you played – everybody in your conference, you would get a legitimate winner because everybody would play everybody. Your schedules would be even, and that would be great. But that's not going to happen either because the SEC and Big Ten are not going to be losing teams. But that's what I miss. But I do agree with you, Coach. I agree that definitely, it would be good for like fans and getting people in the seats to have that extra game. But still, at the same time, it's like the SEC already is tough. That's why you have the 4 non-con, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens either way.
Well, and whatever the SEC does, the ACC is going to do. That is for sure.